What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be previewing Port Adelaide versus Geelong. Round 13 is upon us this Thursday night. Yes, Geelong have the exemption to fly over from Avalon Airport to play Port Adelaide in Adelaide. Thank you to the South Australian Government, South Australian Health and all parties for getting involved and working through what is a difficult situation to work with. So we say thank you as footy fans to those to get this opportunity to play footy. Thursday night's back. We all love Thursday night footy, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a massive clash, and for it to get the go ahead just makes me even more excited. So without doubt, let's get straight into it and preview Port Adelaide versus Geelong. So those that don't know, Port Adelaide versus Geelong, round 13, Thursday night. Geelong have the exemption to fly in from Geelong. They've spent the last couple of days in a hard quarantine period. They'll fly in from Avalon Airport. They'll play the game, prepare as best they can, and then as soon as the game's done, they are allowed to break the 11 p.m. flying curfew in Adelaide to fly back to Geelong. So it'll be a long night for the Cats in particular, and those situations can be quite difficult to work with, and no doubt it might play into Port Adelaide's advantage a little bit more since both teams have had the bye over the last week. Both refreshed, both ready to go. And I think playing at home might be a bigger advantage than normal for Port Adelaide in this one, although Collingwood proved that it wasn't a big deal last week against the Crows. So you never know in this one. It is a top 8 clash, but definitely a fight for the top 4. We're getting to the pointy end now. We're getting to the business part of the season, where this period is massive for any side in the top 8 because they're wanting to gain positions. Port Adelaide are equal third at the moment, with Geelong and also Brisbane. So this is a massive opportunity for Port to actually win this game. It's so much riding on it, because if we win this game, you go into the top 4. You'll be a game ahead of Geelong and Brisbane, because Geelong you're beating, but you've both had the bye, and Brisbane are about to have their bye. So to be a game ahead in this situation is massive in the context of this season. We have a pretty decent run home. We do play the Melbourne Demons and the Dogs again later in the year. So this is a massive test. Obviously, we've been questioned whether or not we're flat track bullies. I don't believe in that statement, but I do think if there is a point to prove, it's at home in front of your fans, and you're going to be playing against one of the better sides in the comp in Geelong, who no doubt will be thinking this one is a massive opportunity as well. They haven't played too many teams where they've been comprehensively beaten. They've definitely pushed their case this year, and they were only a couple of weeks ago probably in the mix to be premiership favourites. And a game of beating Gold Coast, and they just got over Collingwood, which we did as well, but it was a horrible game of football to watch. And I think now we're Port Adelaide coming into the bye, playing Fremantle and Collingwood. Almost tune-up games really for this one. I think, and I don't mean any disrespect to the two teams, but you should be in a position where if you're Port Adelaide, you're looking at those games, you've got to get the job done. They did against Fremantle, it was ugly against Collingwood. Same with Geelong. They did it against Gold Coast and Collingwood. So this one is the big blockbuster that we've been waiting for, I think, for a few weeks now, since we played Brisbane and the Bulldogs and lost comprehensively. So this is the opportunity. This is the one we want. This is the one we want to beat. We beat Geelong last year in the qualifying final at home. It was a great game of football. Really, it was a massive pressure game, and I think it'll happen again come this Thursday night. It's going to be massively built around the midfield. Both teams have really big key forwards in Tom Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron. So Port Adelaide's defence is going to be stretched and definitely have their work cut out. Obviously, Port Adelaide with Charlie Dixon, Georgiadis and Marshall, they're going to have to be prominent again. I said that against Fremantle, who had a weakened defence, that we have to make a statement with our key forwards, and we did. And we have to do it again this week. Dixon doesn't have a great record against Geelong when he's playing, when he has been playing for Port Adelaide. But Todd Marshall definitely, he's been one that's actually proven himself pretty well against the bigger sides this year. Surprisingly, look at the goal stats. So I think this is a massive opportunity for them to stand up. As I said, throughout the midfield, you got Boak, you got Wines, Carl Amon's been in fantastic form, but then again, you look at Geelong, they've got Guthrie, they've got Selwood, they've got those types of players that really run through the opposition midfield, and you've got Isaac Smith as well as a running and carrying player, very similar type to Carl Amon, and definitely has that experience. And Geelong have been, nothing short of pretty damn good this year, and I really feel like that they'll come into this one with the confidence that they'll probably win it. And I think us fans are probably a little bit more nervous from Port Adelaide perspective, because we haven't had that game where it's been like, oh, we beat Richmond at home, it was a close nail biter. This one seems no doubt is going to be pretty much down that alley as well. But then we comprehensively lost to Geelong, to West Coast, sorry, Brisbane as well. Bulldogs was a great game, but we started slowly, and our slow starts have been a concern. We changed that against Fremantle, but I think now I don't want to have that as an anomaly. I want to see that again this week. Be a bit more competitive from the start, get that first clearance, and really try and dominate Geelong's midfield, because we can run them off their feet, which is something that Geelong's capabilities lie in different areas to Port Adelaide's. I think there's two very different teams, two very different styles. They are bigger bodied, so I think we're just going to have to play that pressure game that we do so well up forward to be able to capitalise on any opportunities that Geelong give us. The good news for Port Adelaide is there's only going to be probably one change, and that's Orazio out with his knee surgery, so he won't be back for another month or so, probably similar to Xavier Dersma and Zach Butters, so they all might come back around the same time, which will be massive boost going into the last 6 weeks of the season. I don't know who's going to come in. You might see a Joel Garner make his return for the year. You might see a Boyd Woodcock come in to replace him. There's different players, different positional changes we can make. We're quite flexible. Ryan Burton's going to stay on the side. He's available to play this week, so nothing too stressful about his knee. So that's a massive bonus for us. Scotty Lysette not back until the week after, so Pete Laddams and he's probably going to have to run with Charlie Dixon and that again through the ruck. So work cut out, I think, against the Geelong ruckman, but that's an opportunity for Laddams to prove a point again. He's definitely great around his feet and around the ground, so if he can get those ruck contests in the middle from the centre bounces and the stoppages, then we'll definitely be able to give our midfielders the first opportunity, and hopefully our mids are on, because otherwise that's going to be the issue. That's the one. If they're on, then we're on, and then I think we'll have a lot of confidence going into a four-quarter performance, which we haven't quite hit yet. I think Essendon was one that was 4 quarters. North Melbourne was 3 quarters. Richmond was a 4-quarter pressure performance, which I thought was great. So if we have anything like those types of games, Carlton was ebbs and flows a bit, but in St Kilda we just took the piss out of them throughout that game. So I think and the rest of them all seem to be 2-3 quarter performances, and the start. So they're my main concerns. Is if the midfield's on, we're on, and then our quick starts have to be a factor again, because if we start slowly, then Geelong are going to be all over us. 2 more things I just want to mention as well is I'm really looking at the factor of if we take our opportunities in front of goal. We've been pretty accurate the last few weeks, even that we've had lost a couple of games. We've been quite accurate, which has been very pleasing, because in the past it's been something that I've questioned and something that's hurt us a little bit. So if we're accurate on Thursday night, then we're definitely going to be in with a chance, because we do give ourselves plenty of opportunities. So if I think we're like 6th or 7th in the league for average in front of goal. I think it's 50% or something like that. So if we can capitalise on our opportunities, then that's one big factor that will help us get across the line. The other one is the bye factor. Now, we haven't been great. I think we've got a 50% record after the bye since 2012 or something like that. But Geelong are the worst in the league for games after byes. They are 2-12. I think, and I really hope it's the case that it happens again. This might play a factor. You add up the fact that they are not, haven't played for a week. They've been in lockdown. They'll be itching to play, no doubt about it. I'm not going to say that they can come out and lie flat on the ground, but their bye record is not the greatest, so we have to take advantage of that. And I think, you could almost be certain enough to say that, and this is my tip as well, I'm almost certain I reckon we'll win this one. And that's no disrespect to Geelong or anything like that. I think it'll be a really close game. I'm only tipping us to win by about 8 points. I don't see us doing a massive blowout or anything like that, like they did to us last year in round 13 or 14 or something like that. Up at the Gav, it was 60 points. I really feel like it'll be a tight tussle, but it'll be one that we get across the line in, and who knows, might do the job. Charlie Dixon, Robbie Gray, my boy Trevor Boat. We'll see. Well, that's it. That's my preview for round 13, Port Adelaide versus Geelong. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking for this one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content. Go give my podcast, A Less Is More, a listen as well if you're interested in things about life and things about, you know, being on a journey that I'm on at the moment. So go check that out. The link is in the description. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you all Thursday night. My name is Anthony, and as always, count the pair.